dear students, in previous sessions we discussed what are the different data types used in Oracle, and also we discussed how to log into Oracle 8i. So in today's class, we are going to discuss how we can create a table structure physically onto the hard disk by using create table command, which is one of the command available in data definition language. As we are using SQL to interact with RDBMS software, here we need to follow the syntax as to communicate with you people. I may use Kannada language or I may use English language. Every language as it is having a grammar in similar fashion, even SQL is also having its own grammar while writing the commands. So technically that grammar can be called as a syntax. Similarly, while writing a create table command, we should follow this syntax. First, let us try to understand how we can use create table command with a general grammar that is called as a syntax. So this command, create table command, can be written as create table name. We have to use create table keyword. As you can see here, I am mentioning create table. These are nothing but keywords. Keywords are nothing but reserved words which should be correct while writing the statement. If we commit any mistakes while writing these reserved words or keywords, then SQL compiler may not understand it properly. Then if we commit any mistakes, then SQL compiler will start generating errors. It will not execute our statements because SQL compiler will not understand what you are trying to say or what you are trying to execute. So that's why whenever I say a keyword, we have to mention that keyword as it is. So here in this case, create table is a keyword we have to use, and in front of this, I have to mention what is the table name. Assume that in examination, they may ask you to create employee table, create student table, create a salary table, product table, supplier table, etc. At that time, you need to mention the table name in this particular position. Create table student. Similarly, create a table employee. Like this, you have to mention the table name. After this, you have to provide the column definition here. Whenever we are going to create a table structure, it must have certain columns within it. It may have sometimes 3 columns, 5 columns, 8 columns. Depending upon the requirement, DBA will decide how many columns I should include within a table. In examination, they may ask you like create a table student with the following fields, and they may list out some of the fields like roll number, name, class, division, etc. Similarly, create a table employee with the following columns they may ask, and they may list out some of the column names like employee ID, name, salary, department, etc. So how to define these column definitions? Anyhow, we have to define these column definitions by using opening parenthesis immediately in the next line. So what we have written? We have written create table, table name. After writing the table name, we have to press enter, and in the next line, we have to open the parenthesis, because within this parenthesis, we are going to specify what are the column definitions. Assume that I'm going to provide the first column definition, And how to provide these column definitions? Again, we are having a syntax here like this. While specifying the column definition, we have to use a column name first, and after specifying the column name, we should leave one white space, and immediately after that, we should specify the data type. Already we have discussed what are the different data types used in Oracle, and what do you mean by data type? So data type is nothing but it highlights what type of a data a column can hold. Suppose if I'm defining a column name as a role, then data type should be a number. If I'm specifying column name as a student name, then data type should be a varchar. So likewise, we should specify the column name, and after column name we should specify what the data type. And some of the data types, they are accepting size because SQL has to reserve a memory for the data. So that's why immediately after mentioning the data type, we should use size. We should reserve the size by mentioning the number of bytes. And how to specify the size here? We have to use a parenthesis. Within the parenthesis, we need to mention the size. And after that, suppose if we are implementing certain conditions or constraints, those we can implement here. So these are nothing but optional. And in upcoming sessions, we will be discussing what are the different types of constraints we can implement while creating the table structure. So let us not bother about these constraints right now. Assume that my first column definition has been completed and I want to include one more column definition. So to include one more column definition, we have to use a comma here. As you can see here, I'm going to use a comma here. So this is indicating what? We have completed the first column definition and I want to include one more column definition here, so that I want to include a comma here so that I can include one more column definition. So after putting a comma, we can write one more column definition like this. Again, I can specify student name, and after that give a space, mention the data type, mention the size, and if I want to include the constraints, then we can include the constraints. Otherwise, you can leave it. And also I can include a comma. Suppose I want to include one more column definitions. Likewise, we can include n number of column definitions, but try to remember that when I include the last column definition, after including the last column definition, we should not include comma here. If I include a comma, then I have to mention one more column definition. So that the syntax says. So this is the last column. So for last column, we should not include a comma. After this, we need to close the parenthesis which I have opened here, so that I can close the table structure, and immediately closing the parenthesis. After this, we need to use semicolon so that to indicate the end of the statement. So this is what the general syntax for creating a table. Let us see one example now, how we can create a table. Assume that I want to create a customers table. So how to start the command? We have to use a keyword create table. As you can see here, I'm using the same keyword create table. After this, we have to specify the table name. So here I want to create a table name with customers. So that's why I am mentioning the name as customers here. After immediately I have to open the parenthesis. I have to give the open parenthesis here. So again, let me give the open parenthesis. Now I have to specify the column definition now. Assume that I'm going to specify customer ID as the first column. So let me specify customer ID as the first column name. Please try to observe here. I'm going to use two separate words, customer and ID here. Try to remember whenever we are mentioning the table names and column names with more than one words, then we have to combine those words by including underscore in between. Suppose what happens if we are not including underscore in between. So according to the syntax, what it says, after mentioning the column name, give some space here, and after this include the data type. Suppose if I mention the column name as a customer ID, if I leave a white space here and if I give ID, and after this if I give a space here, now I'm going to specify number as a data type and I'm going to specify the size for this. Now SQL compiler, what it does, it will identify customer as a column name, because according to syntax, up to white space it will consider this one as a column name, and after white space whatever the next word you are writing, it will be treated as a data type. But here what I am going to do, I'm going to create what, ID here, but it will search for the ID data type, but unfortunately this particular ID data type is not available in Oracle. In Oracle we are having a number, char, varchar, isn't it? So those are the data types I can include here. So this time what happens, SQL compiler will not understand what you are trying to communicate. At that time it may generate certain errors. So that's why while writing a table name, suppose if I want to combine multiple words, then I have to use underscore in between. So that it will consider this one as entirely one column name. So this is how it will consider the column names. Suppose if I am mentioning only a single word in a column name, then no necessary of including underscore. Okay. So that's why if you observe here, customer is one word and ID is another word. But customer ID, I want to create it as a single column. So that's why I have to combine these two separate words by using underscore here. So that's why I'm using a customer underscore ID. And after this, I'm going to specify white space in between. As you can see here, I'm going to specify white space here. And after this, I'm going to specify number data type. And how to specify the size? Within the parenthesis, I can specify how many number of bytes I want to reserve. So in this case, I'm going to reserve 10 digits of a number here for customer ID column. And this is optional, and this is what a constraint, this is optional entirely. Suppose I don't want to include null values in the customer ID, then I must include this constraint. So don't bother about these constraints right now, because we are going to discuss in upcoming sessions regarding constraints. And after this, I want to include one more column definition. That's why I am using a comma here. As you can see here, I am using a comma at last because I want to specify one more column definition according to the syntax. So the next column I want to define is customer name. Again, see, customer name is nothing but the column name. There are two words in this column name, customer as well as name. I have to combine these two words with the help of underscore. Customer underscore name I need to specify, and what kind of a data I can store here, whether customer name is accepting a fixed length of a characters or a variable length of a characters. Normally all the customers are not having a similar length of a characters as their name. So that's why we should consider varchar as a data type. So in this case, I'm going to consider varchar2 as a data type, and I'm going to mention the size as 50 so that it can reserve 50 bytes of a memory. And again, not null constraint I'm going to implement and put a comma. So I'm having one more column definition in this case, that is city. City is the next column for the customers, and varchar2 is the data type and 50 is the size. And if you observe here, I'm not going to mention a comma for city column. As you can see here, I am not mentioning comma in this particular position because this says that this is the last column. So now I have to close the definition for customers. I have to use a closing parenthesis here, and I need to terminate the statement with a semicolon. So semicolon, what it indicates? It indicates termination of the statement. When I include semicolon, that is the indication of the statement completion. After this, if I press enter, then SQL compiler will start compiling the statement. Okay, and it will convert the high level language into machine level language, and it will pass the query to the DBMS. So this is how the SQL compiler is going to work. So normally in the examination, you may get a question like this. Here I'm going to write the query. Normally you are getting a case study question on Oracle. So you may get this kind of a question, these kind of a questions. So here in this case, they have asked you to create a table, create employee table. So this is nothing but name of the table, employee, with the fields employee ID, name, department, designation. These are the field names for employee table. Similarly, we have to create a salary table also. They have asked you to create two tables in this case. The first table is employee. As you can see here, create a table employee with the fields employee ID, name, department, designation. And they have asked you to create a salary table as well. Salary table with fields employee ID, basic sal, allowance, gross sal, deductions, net sal. So now let us create only a single table called as employee with these following fields. So in this case, employee table is consisting of four different columns. Those are nothing but employee ID, name, department, designation. We have to decide what kind of a value or what type of a data employee ID can hold, name can hold, department can hold, and designation can hold. That we have to decide. So that is nothing but identification of a data type and their size. So let us create this employee table now. Already I have opened the Oracle. Okay, as you can see here. So to create employee table, we should begin the statement with the help of a create table keyword. So let me write create table keyword. What is the table name I need to mention? Employee, because they said to create employee. And after this, press enter, give a open parenthesis, again press enter, give some space here. As you can see here, we are getting a continuation number here. As you can see, we should begin writing the statement with SQL prompt. As you can see here, this statement has began with a SQL prompt, and when I press enter here, it is saying line number 2, again if when I press enter here, again it is continuing the statement. So this is nothing but we are not terminating the statement, we are continuing the statement here. So after this I need to specify the column definition now. So the first column, what they said, they have mentioned employee ID. Assume that I'm going to store ID as E001 like that. It is alphanumeric. So in this case, I cannot consider data type as a number. I must consider employee ID as a character here because I want to store the value as E001. So in this case, we have to store E here. If I consider number, I cannot store E, isn't it? So that's why let me consider employee ID. See, EMP underscore ID in this case. As they have specified here, employee underscore ID they have mentioned. And the data type I'm going to specify now. So give a space here. Data type I'm going to specify is character. Let me consider 4 bytes. Put a comma. Press enter. So this is what the first column definition completed now. So here I am going to mention employee ID as the column name. As you can see here, employee ID is the column name. After that, I have left one white space here. And after this, char is nothing but the data type, and 4 is nothing but the size I am going to mention for employee ID. And after this, I want to specify one more column definition. That's why I have introduced comma here. As you can see here, I have used comma here. So after this, I want to include one more column definition. So again, give some space here so that it looks nice. And the next column definition, what I need to specify? I need to specify name, department, and designation. Still, we have to define what? 3 column definitions. Let us do this. The next column definition is what? Name. So every employee is not having a similar length of a names here. So that's why let me consider name as varchar data type. And I'm going to specify the size at a 30. And similarly, department, again let me consider department as a varchar. Let me specify 30 as a size. And the last column, designation. So let me specify varchar here, again specify 30 as a size. And if you observe here, this is the last column. So that's why I will not include comma here. Now I'm going to close the table definition. Press enter, close the parenthesis, and put a semicolon. Now you can see here, we have specified the first column definition, second column definition, third column definition, and fourth column definition. And after specifying the fourth column definition, I have not introduced comma. Suppose if I specify comma, then I have to specify one more column definition. So that is what the syntax says. And after this, we have to close this parenthesis which I have opened here, that I need to close in this particular position. And after this, I have to end the statement by using a semicolon. So that's why I have used the semicolon in this position. So now when I press enter after specifying the semicolon, now SQL compiler will start compiling this statement. Suppose if it is having any errors, then it will generate errors. Otherwise, it will simply execute that statement. So now let us see what happens. Now press enter. Now it is showing the message like table created. As you can see here, it is showing a message saying that table has been created. That means what? Whatever the statement we have written, it is correct, there is no such errors. So compiler has successfully compiled the statement and it has executed it successfully. So this is how we can create tables. Similarly, very quickly, let us create one more table here. So now I'm going to create what student table. Create table student. Press enter. Give a open parenthesis. Give a enter, and again give some space here. Let me specify first column as a roll or exam number. Let us consider exam underscore number, as we are having two words in exam number. So exam number is alphanumeric. So for that, let me consider character with 8 digits. Put a comma, give some space. The next column I want to specify is name. Name is not having a similar length, so that's why I will consider varchar here. Again put comma by specifying the size. Press enter, and the next one is class varchar 30 size. Close the parenthesis for size. Okay, this is the last column I want to introduce. Let me close the definition, close the parenthesis, and put a semicolon. Now you can observe what I have written. I have written create table student, open the parenthesis, exam number is the column name, char is the data type, 8 is the size. Similarly, name varchar 30, comma, class varchar 30. This is the last column. So close the parenthesis and semicolon. So now if I press enter, it should start the compilation. If any errors, then it has to generate error. Okay, in this case, obviously it is going to generate error because I have wrongly entered table keyword here. You can observe here. So the table keyword must be table, but I have entered el. So that is wrong. So in this case, it has to generate error. Let us see what happens. Press enter. Now you can observe here what SQL compiler is saying. It is generating a error message. You can see here it is highlighting the mark at table here, and it is generating a error message saying that error at line number 1. What it is saying? The error message is invalid create command. So that means what? Whatever created command you are writing, it is invalid. There is no such create command. So that is SQL compiler is saying. So again, we have to make corrections here. We have to retype the same statement. Let me correct table spelling, and remaining let me copy from the above statement. Press enter, and rest of the let me copy this. And now I'm going to press enter. So now you can see here when I entered table spelling correctly, you can observe everything is fine here. So now it has created this table structure, as you can see the message. So this is how we need to create a table structure in Oracle. So in the next session, we will be discussing how we can implement constraints while defining the table structure. Hope you have understood.